to take a few questions. Mr. Hutto.
Thanks, Secretary Hall. As usual, she has done a fantastic job at giving a statewide and strategic level overview. I got to tell you, I'm a huge admirer of this lady. I think she is awesome. She brings the thunder. She is the thunder. I mean, she's brilliant, and we're very lucky to have her. And I say that not just because she signs my paycheck. I'm going to bring things. It does help, but also. So I'm going to bring things down a little bit closer to home and talk about what's going on in Anderson County, what the work we have going on. And full disclosure, y'all, I'm a lawyer, not an engineer. And when the engineers gave me a bunch of these slides, I was like, look at some of the terms, and like the scope of the ANAT's TIP and the OGFC, and I'm like, hey, I'm from Orangeburg. Scope's something you put on a rifle, and OGFC sounds like something my daughter is texting to her friends, and I'm frantically Googling trying to figure out what it means. So I've tried to make this a little bit friendlier. I may not have succeeded. I'm sure the engineers would say that I've overgeneralized, and I say guilty. So let's go. Here we've got a map of Anderson County, which looks like my daughter kind of scribbled all over it with crayons, but all the colors that you see, those are all projects that we have going on. I mean, we've got a tremendous amount of work going on in Anderson. We've got 68 miles of resurfacing under contract. In addition to that, we've got 16 miles of resurfacing work going on I-85. We've got 16 bridges that are going to be replaced in the county. We have, as Secretary Hall talked about, an extraordinarily important rural road safety project, and we've got 20 intersection and operational improvement projects going on. So again, you can see there's a lot of work. And a little later on in the presentation, I'm actually going to show you how you can go get to this map yourself whenever you want to and see all the work that we've got coming down the pike. All right, I talked about the intersection and operational improvement projects, and oh no, there's some acronyms. I tried to eliminate most of the acronyms, but I did leave these in there. Does anybody know what the heck an MPO or a COG is? And if you're on the MPO or COG, you're cheating if you raise your hand. Does anybody know? Okay, well, I hear a couple of people talking about it that know what it means. You're right, COG stands for the Council of Governments, and MPO stands for the Metropolitan Planning Organization. And these are local transportation planning organizations that get funding from DOT for intersection operational improvement type projects. And they actually pick these type of projects. DOT does not. But anyway, you can see up on the board there, we've got 20 of those projects coming down. And I'm going to pick out one specific project and talk a little bit about that. And that's the new roundabout at Concord Road and Harris Bridge Road, the roundabout there. This was kind of a really funky intersection that just did not work very well. There had been some accidents there. So we've gone in and put a roundabout. It has recently been open to traffic and should be fully complete shortly. But again, that's part of the 20 locally selected intersection and operational improvement projects that we have going on in Anderson. And there's a picture of it right there. I learned something new today, and again, not an engineer, but the red thing around the roundabout, that's called a truck apron. As you can see, it's 1 lane wide, and if a big 18-wheeler comes in there, like, oh no, he's not going to be able to make it. Well, that's what the red area is for, is so the trailer could bump up on there and move it around, and again, it's called a truck apron. So I did learn something today. My mother would be very proud of me. Bridges. Honestly, bridges, to me, unless it's like the Cooper River Bridge or there's not a bridge there, they're not that exciting, but they are really necessary unless you're driving a bright orange Dodge Charger. And we've got 16 of those around the county that are coming in. And that's a lot of work right there in and of itself. We've got the interstate project that I previously mentioned. We've got 16 miles of resurfacing on I-85. From mile marker 18 to 21, we're doing a mill and fill, excuse the jargon, but that's where we're going in and taking out a significant amount of asphalt, putting that back, putting a new driving surface on top of it. And from mile marker 21 to 34, we're putting a new driving surface on top of the asphalt there. And also we're going to be putting in new pavement markings and rumble strips to make that section of interstate safer. And that's almost done. Secretary Hall mentioned the US 29 Rural Road Safety Project and the importance of that project. And I mean, if y'all have driven down that road, it's kind of like driving down a tunnel. And there have been, I believe there were close to 30 serious injuries or fatalities along that corridor. It's the number 2 corridor in the state for us to address. So we're going to be doing, I think it's right about 14 miles of improvements. Phase 1 is going to go from 76 to the 29 connector, and then phase 2 will go on all the way out to I-85. But it's going to include resurfacing. We're going to put 4-foot wide paved shoulders like the Secretary was talking about. If you run off the road, you know, you're not going to die. You'll have a little bit of time to get back on the road and recover. We're going to put rumble strips along the edge of the pavement. We're also going to put rumble strips down the center line of the pavement. And also some guardrails. So again, a huge improvement to that road that's going to save lives. And we're very excited about that project. And that should start middle of the year next year. Pavements, like I said, we've got 68 miles of resurfacing under contract in Anderson. And that's if you're driving at interstate speeds. That would take you an hour to drive that far. So that's a lot of pavement. And thanks to the road bill, Anderson County's allocation of resurfacing money is going to double over the next few years. Again, huge amount of work. And that's just a map showing you the resurfacing projects broken out. And we've got I think there's a bunch of resurfacing on US 76, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. County Transportation Committees. Does everybody know what the County Transportation Committee is? I suspect not everybody does, so even if you do, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. Each county has a County Transportation Committee, and previously, before the roads bill, 2.66 cents of the gas tax was distributed out among the County Transportation Committees to spend. Thanks to the roads bill, that's bumping up 1/3 of a cent each year until it gets to 4 cents. And again, that money goes out to the county transportation committees. They are the folks that decide how to spend that money. And the county transportation committees differ a little bit from county to county, but I believe in Anderson, I believe they are appointed by the legislative delegation. Mr. Chairman White is nodding his head, so I'm right on that. And that chart there just shows you how that funding is bumping up and is going to continue to bump up. So again, you know, you've got local input on that, and we think that's a great thing as well. All right, let's talk a little bit about transparency. Secretary Hall has pushed extraordinarily hard on making us good stewards of your tax dollars. But not only that, she wants you to be able to see whether we are being good stewards of your tax dollars. And what we have done is we put a tremendous amount of information on our website. And please go to our website and check it out. We've recently revamped it. It's more user-friendly, and transparency is literally front and center on this. Well, actually, it's not quite front and center. It's front, right, and bottom. If you'll see that thing that says Infrastructure Maintenance Trust Fund, part of the roads bill was the increase in the gas tax is going into a trust fund, the Infrastructure Maintenance Trust Fund. That money has to be used for repair, maintenance, or improvement of the existing road system. All right, so all that money is going in the trust fund. We want you to be able to see where every cent of it is going. Lawton, let's take them out to the webpage. And again, that's on the front page of our webpage. So you click on that, which hopefully the technology is going to work, and I'm going to be able to show you here. Maybe. Well, it looks like once again.
It's not there.
Huh?
It's not there.
It's the link is
Yeah,
under
I'm
the
looking
chart.
at it here. So let me get it here. So,
You know how in the movies they say, never work with dogs or children? When you're doing a presentation, never, ever rely on the internet.
Well, I'm not talking about that. No, the internet's working, I'm looking at it, it's just not showing up there.
Well, if it ever works, we'll show you. If not, I'll tell you a little bit about it. Hot dog, there we are. All right. This is on our website, and this is a listing of all the projects for where that trust fund money is going. It's broken down by county. So we can go to Anderson, and we can see that Anderson is getting about $13 million in resurfacing money. There's that 68 miles that I mentioned previously, and you can see all the resurfacing projects right there. You can see how much each one's going to cost. You can see how many miles it's going to be paved. As I was mentioning previously, we've got a lot of work on US 76. The Rural Road Safety Project is also down there. Lawton, scroll back up, please. All right. Again, you can see we've got a ton of work on 76, the Belton Highway. We're doing about 4 miles there. Anderson Street portion of US 76, East River Street, Belton Honeypath Highway. We're doing almost 4 miles there. And that's just some examples of the work that we've got coming down the pipe that is being paid for with that trust fund money. All right, let's go back out and go to Project Viewer. Project Viewer is something that our IT folks came up with a little over a year ago, in which I'm really excited about. I'm not an engineer, so I look at spreadsheets and I'm like, I'm much more of a visual person. So our IT folks came up with this, and this is awesome. You can see all the work that we have going on. You just got to zoom in, and it pulls up all the projects. And again, that's where that picture I was showing you earlier came from. This is on the website. You can go to it and you can see, and it's constantly updated. If you click on a project like Lawton just did, and he clicked on the 85 project I was talking about previously, it pulls up that little box right there. It's got a description of the project. It's got what kind of project it is. If it's under construction, it's got an anticipated completion date, and it's got contact information for the project manager. Their name, their email, and their phone number. So if you've got a question about a project, there's your contact person. Please feel free to reach out to them. I mean, we encourage public participation, and we want y'all to be fully informed of what's going on in your neighborhood and what we're doing. This is all part of just trying to be good stewards and really show y'all that. All right, Lawton, ready to go back out? Go to the final slide, please.
This one?
No, the end.
It's changing on me.
Again, people, don't rely on technology. I swear, I feel like just have the old paper that you flip over. Reliability. So finally, well, there we go. Well, never mind. I'm just going to go ahead and end it. Okay, thank you. And there's Project Viewer again. But I wanted to end with our people work really hard. They work in the cold. They work in the heat. They work in the rain. Please be mindful of them when you're driving through a work zone. I mean, they're doing incredibly hard work in hard physical conditions. At the same time, people are blowing past them, a couple of feet away, 60, 70, 80 miles an hour. So again, if you're here, you're probably not the people I really need to be talking to, but please be cognizant of that and pass the word on. We've had far too many accidents and fatalities among our folks. So please let them work, let them live. Thank you for listening to me drone on, and I'm going to turn it back over to Secretary Hall.